Hello, welcome to the Special Moves podcast. This is episode 41. My name is Mike Williams, and these scumbags are Jake Lukowski and Liam McKelvey.
Yep.
I was trying to
Good scumbag laugh.
Yeah, exactly.
I like it.
Yeah,
thanks.
I just went, yep, straight. That's me.
Oh, was it?
They didn't even try and argue.
Liam's like, why are you fucking telling them? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's our secret.
You had a good week, boys. What have you been playing?
I have had a good week, and I have been playing Slay the Spire a lot,
Yeah.
and Apex Legends. But we're going to do a separate video about that, because it was a new season.
Mm-hmm.
You know that
Yeah.
I've been building up for about 4 weeks worth of podcasts.
Was it Wild Frontier?
No, that was the old one. This is
right.
like
Battle Charge.
Battle Charge.
Is that
Yeah,
it?
that's it.
It's
That's it.
blue now. That's the big
It is
change
blue.
as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. So we'll talk about that later. So I'll save you another podcast of Apex Legends heavy Jake fucking bit.
We'll have a very distinct separate video for all your Apex Legends.
Season 2 needs.
Yeah.
Yeah, we will, because it's been out for a week now, and we've been playing it quite a bit together, actually.
Yeah.
So we'll do that. But yeah, I've been playing Slay the Spire again. I'm well into it now.
What is it?
It's the card roguelike game that was in the best game of the year video. I don't actually know if I've spoken about it at all apart from that video.
No, you haven't actually. It's weird you've not mentioned it, and then it's just sort of come out of the blue as like your favourite game of the year.
I'm playing it loads. So I
Yeah.
had the day off today from work, and I spent about 7 or 8 hours.
Yeah.
No, 8 till 4 playing it. I stopped to make a salad. That was it. Other than that, I've been playing that in bed.
You've changed, mate.
Watching these jail programs on Netflix, right?
Well, what goes better with a salad than a jail program? Do you know what I mean? Salad in
Roguelike
jail.
game builder. So yeah, Slay the Spire, man. Then it's like if you're playing it on the Switch like me, there's 3 characters that you can play as. And I can't do it as the second character. And I've got to the last boss. Like I got to the last boss twice today. And I got to the one where like you kill them and then they come back. Oh my god. And yeah, I was on a train on Saturday and Sunday with a friend of the channel, Triceps, who has got 95 hours on PC. And we got...
Shit. Yeah, it's been on PC for ages, isn't it?
Yeah, so it's been in early access for like years, like
Yeah.
2017, I think. And then it came out on PC in January. And then it came out on PS4 in like March, and then like a month or so ago on Nintendo. And it was like it was quite quick until it was put on sale. Like,
Yeah.
I think it was put on sale pretty sharpish actually on the Switch. I mean, I can't remember how much it costs even. Less than 20, I think.
I had a look at it. I can't remember when it was, but it must have been like last year, maybe early last year. And Chris Bratt on the Cool Ghosts podcast mentioned it, and I was like, that sounds alright. I'll have a look at it. And then the art style for a very shallow reason, I just sort of went, I don't know. I don't know if I like it.
Yeah.
I don't know if they've changed it a little bit though. I can't remember if I've just got a bad memory or I made a bad decision or they've actually
You might
improved.
make a great
and
decision. You might fucking hate it. You know
I
what I
hate
mean?
most things, mate. So
That's what
probably
I mean.
statistically,
if anything,
I probably
you're
will hate
still
it.
right. Yeah, exactly.
But I sort of, I didn't give it enough of a shot like back then. But mind you, having said that, I don't really like to play early access games that much anyway. Like I'm dying to play Hades, but I'm also trying not to because
and it's not on the Switch as well.
Yeah, it's not on the Switch. But that's cool. You've been hammering that then.
Hammering that, and I did pick up Bloodstains, Curse of the Moon. That's this one, isn't it?
Ritual of the Night. This one.
Shit.
Curse of the Moon was the like the little.
50-50.
Fucking
They did like a
embarrassment.
little prequel game.
God, yes, no, I did. I did pick it up on Switch, even though I was gonna get it like last week, but then there was loads of issues with the Switch port apparently, so I kind of left off. But then I was editing that video of the best games of the year, and Liam was on about this, so I was just like, man.
Yeah.
So I got it. I got to the first boss, put it down. I've got the intention to play it, but then today I had the opportunity to play it, and now I ended up on Slay the Spire. So it's good. I mean, it's very good from what I'm playing.
It's a bit of a wedge, isn't it? It's £35 for.
Yeah, I think it is. Yes, $34.99.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah, it is.
Which it's probably totally reasonable, but for some reason it just again totally like surface level assessment. It just looks like it would be like £20 or something. Just looking at the.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean though? But then,
Yeah.
but then you get hours and hours out of it, and then it's there's
Right.
a lot of production value in it, and
And it's made by like a proper vet, which is always interesting when somebody who's been doing games for years comes back and tries to look at something after. I don't know. I kind of like that's why I was kind of interested in it, because this guy helped pioneer this genre that like everybody is used. Like Dark Souls completely leapfrogged Metroidvania, and they took it and ran.
Yep.
And then like you've seen some very similar, like more like tribute acts to
Oh.
Castlevania since. Like Dead Cells and Hollow Knight specifically is a little bit closer, I'd say. But like I don't know. This is. I'm always interested to see when they come back and do it. Like for example, like Neo, yeah. So that was like a Souls game essentially, wasn't it? Made by the Ninja Gaiden people who were like the original brutal crush.
They made the hardest games.
Yeah, and then they're like, hey, we're gonna come back and we're gonna do your game.
And it's gonna be better.
It's gonna be better.
And people are gonna like it more.
Yeah, and it's gonna have like samurais in it. And then Dark Souls lot did Sekiro, didn't they? So Neo 2, I'm looking forward to actually.
Who'd win in a fight, right? The Sekiro fella,
Sekiro
or the
William,
Neo fella,
whatever his name is. His name is William, isn't it?
Yeah, he's meant to be like.
Yeah.
Is it William Adams or something?
It's something really like. Yeah.
He's meant to be Irish.
It's
I think.
like if you went into Aldi and bought a bitter. It's like a brand of
like a
bitter.
knockoff.
William Adams.
Yeah,
or something like
I
that.
think Sam Adams is a brand of
Samuel
beer, isn't
Adams
it? Yeah.
is. Yeah, Samuel
So
Adams
William
is.
Adams makes a lot of sense.
Exactly,
doesn't it?
yeah, because it's like just like the
It's for the older gentlemen.
Sekiro, more skilled, definitely.
Yeah.
But old Neo Samurai Man has got literal magic.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
And can summon big celestial monsters
Well,
to
that's
help
true.
him.
And
That's
he's
pretty
got- and he's
useful
got
as
two
well, isn't
arms.
it?
Yeah.
And he can
But then
do
again,
different things.
Sekiro can kill dragons and
Yeah.
giant apes that have heads that come off.
I feel like Sekiro's like the less complicated one, and he's like, he's got the fight down. I think if it's just depending on the rules, if it's a straight
Right.
sword on sword fight, I put
Yeah.
my money on Sekiro. He just seems calmer. He just seems like
Yeah.
he's
He
all
He could
over
like
it.
proper stealth assassinate as well.
Yeah, couldn't
Yeah.
even,
He's got that on his
Well, he
side.
was
Yeah.
clunking about. He couldn't even escape the Tower of London without
No,
getting caught. Could
not
he?
bad.
So yeah, like so anyway, Castlevania guy. I wanted to see what the originator can do because
Yeah.
it's always interesting, especially if they've had time out.
Yeah. I mean, you mentioned Dead Cells and Hollow Knight there. I think maybe that's why as well I'm thinking of the price because they're such like critically acclaimed,
Yeah.
complete
I think
experiences.
they're both sub £20.
Exactly.
But
Well,
no,
Hollow
yeah.
Knight was $11.99 on the Switch.
Yeah,
Nothing is that
yeah,
cheap on the Switch
yeah.
unless it's dog shit.
Yeah, no, it's
Or
true.
Hollow Knight.
I think Dead Cells was like 18 quid when
yeah.
it dropped as well.
yeah.
I think it's been on sale here and there.
I think it's like 30 quid now, full price, Dead Cells.
Is it?
It was out. It was in early access for a bit, wasn't it?
Oh my god!
Shit, I didn't
and then
know
I
that.
think when it dropped, it was around Christmas, wasn't it, on the Switch?
think so.
And I think they had like an introductory sale.
Yeah,
thing.
like a special discount.
Yeah, so
Mad.
fuck. But yeah, so I want to get more time in that. But yeah, I'm just sat on the Switch
Yeah.
a lot lately. But
Liam, you finished Judgment.
I did. I finished Judgement this very day, actually.
What was Judgment? Remind us.
So Judgment was the spin-off from the Yakuza series, except with a detective this time instead of a big bad criminal mastermind.
That's so funny. Like when somebody is like anything in this case, some sort of martial arts expert, also detective. There's like
Yeah.
superhero, also he's a detective.
Mhm.
yeah, they
Also,
are, aren't they?
detective is like the best.
It's like they've gone brains and brawn. They've had
Yeah,
to.
exactly.
And what's the brainiest thing we can think of?
Detective.
Well,
isn't
a
it?
lawyer as well, remember?
Yeah, he
That's
is.
a good one.
He
That's
used to be
more-
He's a
lawyer,
lawyer,
yeah.
detective, martial artist.
That's
Yeah,
more of a Netflix
yeah.
series. That's more of like a Netflix, like
Yeah.
he's a
He's a recently disbarred lawyer. He is
he's a recently disbarred
Yeah.
lawyer, but he
Well,
has the
not
power
even
to read
disbarred.
minds.
He decided
out of shame
out of shame,
Yeah.
over a case.
Oh, he's self-disbarred.
Self-disbarred, yeah.
okay.
He can go back
because
to
he's
being a lawyer.
disciplined. Remember? Need I say martial arts again? Yeah, he trusted someone to be innocent, basically,
All right.
but then they were found guilty. So he was like, "What? I trusted this
Yeah.
guy," and then he's like, so now he's made his own detective agency.
That's a pretty major failing for a lawyer. That is the job, isn't it? Really, it's
Yeah, well, that's the thing is, so he let this guy. He said, guys, this guy is innocent.
Yeah,
Everyone
right.
believed him, and then I
Right.
think it's like his missus gets like killed.
There
and
was
then
a
his house
guy
gets on
who
fire.
everyone thought he was like, dead to rights, going to get convicted,
Yeah.
sent to death row, and he got him off like on an amazing technicality sort of thing.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was literally 99.9% chance he
Yeah,
was going to get.
but then a few days later, it appears that this guy's murdered his girlfriend in like a
Oh.
drunken fit of
Oh, did
rage,
he?
I know.
and so everyone's like, "Oh, this disgraceful lawyer." So he, sort of like takes a self-imposed exile from the law.
Awesome. And that's the setup.
And that's just a setup.
And that's only the beginning.
Yeah.
And that's only the first hour of the game.
Yeah. So it's taken you 400 hours to finish it.
35 it was, my final playtime.
Right.
And I reckon about 10 of that was just dialogue that got repeated over and over again.
Yeah.
You're saying that towards the end it kind of slogged a bit, right?
It
Well,
did.
we were trying to get you into a game of Apex Legends, and you just couldn't because you were watching a cutscene
I was
for
in the
about 2
middle
hours.
chassis, yeah. So I about halfway through Judgment, the pacing gets really weird, and it's sort of just the pacing sort of you'll have loads of story,
Yeah.
and then just out of the blue, like it'll be like building up to like, oh, you've got to go fight someone, you got to go tail someone for an investigation,
Yep.
and then completely out of the blue just go, but you got to go do this side quest first, and it's not like they make it mandatory, and then so you spend a few hours on that, and it's like, oh yeah, but back to the story now, and you talk to maybe one person, and then they tell you, oh, come back in a bit, so you go do more side quests.
Like Red Dead Redemption 2.
It's almost like bad editing, which is a weird thing to say about a game.
Kind of, yeah. And it's just like, so, well, in the later chapters, you can tell they're a bit padded, probably for length, because I was saying to Jake on the way over here, a lot of the dialogue is a character will go on a massive exposition dump for like 30 minutes, and then the main character will repeat all of what he just heard, like go, oh, I have to review this out loud,
Right.
and then another character will enter the room and say, catch me up and everything. And so you end up just hearing a lot of repeated story beats.
What do you mean? Like in like, so two characters are talking and one goes, I had to go down the street to like kill the person because that was the only way of doing it. And then the main character goes, you had to go down the street to kill the person because that's the only way of doing it.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight.
Yeah, exactly.
And this dialogue just gets repeated a lot.
Yeah.
Right.
Then,
Oh god. Okay.
And so that wasn't too bad though, because it's just cutscenes, so you can put the controller down and sort of relax a bit, almost like you're watching a legal drama on TV or whatever.
Yeah.
But then, like there was this one chapter when we were trying to play Apex. It was half an hour of cutscenes, 5 minutes of gameplay, half an hour of cutscenes, 5 minutes of gameplay, 20 minutes of cutscenes, chapter end.
And so crucially, for those that haven't quite clocked why Liam couldn't play Apex, is because if he did quit out, you'd be forced to sit through that all
Yeah,
again.
because it never gave me an opportunity to save the game during this chapter.
Yeah, because that's
And,
not normally what happens in a cutscene, is it? Maybe
I
that's
don't
what
want to
will
skip
happen
it as
one
well.
day. You'll be able to like save midway through a cutscene if they're that long.
What an innovation. That
Kojima!
Feels, do you know, weirdly, that feels like long overdue. Like, why isn't
That's
that
what I mean,
already in there? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Get working on that. I'm sure programmers are like, well,
you can do it in like
idiots.
if you
It's
play
impossible.
a game on an emulator, you can do it with save states and everything.
Yeah, you can. Yeah, you can. Exactly
so what's
how
your
you left
excuse
it.
now, Sega?
So but then other than that, the detective stuff in the game became very quickly apparent how surface level and a bit shallow it was. Like if you play the first hour or two of the game, you examine some pictures, you tail a suspect, and you do some dialogue options where you have to select the right dialogue to get them to admit a crime.
Yeah.
And that's basically the extent of all the detective stuff for like the next 30, 40 hours of the game.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I kind of wish they made the detective stuff a bit more in-depth.
Yeah.
And really, it feels like, overall, it felt like they wanted to make a game different to Yakuza, but at the same time, they didn't want to scare away Yakuza fans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it ends up feeling like it's got a bit of an identity crisis going on, where it wants to be something new, but it doesn't want to stray too far from the series that spawned it.
Yeah, because it's probably aware that a lot of people buying it will be heavily
But
invested.
yeah,
rather than,
Yakuza
like,
fans
newcomers.
would be going for it.
Yeah.
So overall, I'd say it's a decent game, but probably one of the weaker in the overall Yakuza franchise. Worth your time, but I wouldn't say rush out to play it. But by the end, the story didn't really...
Yeah.
Because it builds up to like this big grand conspiracy type thing, but the conclusion wasn't really satisfying.
Well, I think that's really important as well, especially if they're going to make you investigate the story rather than just you have to investigate, but you also have to like sit through cutscenes and stuff. So it needs to be like satisfying, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like it's pretty important.
There was a few times where it definitely felt like it was dragging, and I was just like, oh, again.
Yeah.
But and it's just it didn't help that there wasn't a lot of side questy type stuff to do,
Right.
Because Yakuza games are famed for like their numerous mini games, whereas this one felt a bit stripped back from the other games. So it's weird. It felt like a bit one step forward, two steps back from the franchise as a whole.
One step into like investigation stuff as well. I mean, can you? There probably are good examples, but I think it's for me, it's like the arcane games, like Dishonored and stuff, which aren't really about investigation, but you do sort of. You find out facts and stuff, and that helps you complete your objective and things. But can you really think of a game that had like knockout detective mechanics? Do you know what I mean? It's quite a tough one.
But they're not mechanics; they're just parts. Like every CRPG, there's always the.
What about like the Sherlock games and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, so like Sinking City that just came out is the kind of the next project by these people, and they did the same thing. And like, so Sinking City's got this weird, like, kind of like. I don't know. Look at a ghost do something, which a lot of games have got lately, isn't it? Like there's like The Witcher has it. The Witcher, the Tower of Rats mission. Yeah. When you get the ghost lantern, so it's basically that.
Do you know what it's saying a lot? Where the first time I really saw it was The Division, the first one.
Yeah. It is.
I was going to go even further, but I say Batman Arkham Asylum had
and you like recreate the
Of course it is, yeah.
And you'd see like the silhouettes of where people had been.
Yeah,
there'd be like a car crash or something, and you'd like.
Yeah,
and
I forgot about that. Yeah, they were like visions as well. But this that vision mode, like it's like in the TV show Hannibal, like pure empathy, so you can see the crime kind of thing. Yeah. But it's like that's his superpower.
But when's that felt really fun? Apart from when it's not strictly about that, when it's a CRPG or like an arcane game where it's not like. You're not. It doesn't go investigate this thing. You have to kill. You have to kill this person. But then along the way, you find out that maybe you shouldn't kill them because they're actually,
it's never a mechanic. It's like your own.
It's a set of. It's the whole game, isn't it? So I think if you're going to do detective stuff, it's I think you're up against it to begin with to really do a knockout job. But it sounds like you did sort of. Enjoy it sort of thing.
Overall, I'd say it was quite fun. The final boss was actually very fun because it goes full anime where you think they're dead or defeated, but then nope, they come back with full health, which is always
in a mech.
Not even in a mech.
Yeah,
they I don't know how to describe it without spoiling it. I won't say anything because
just look forward to that if you're playing Judgement.
Just when the final fight starts, it starts raining with a bit of light thunder and lightning as well. Right. The music amps up. Yeah. While the villain laughs at you. Yeah. It's very anime.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Is he shirtless?
No, he actually wears a raincoat.
Oh, okay. Well, that's at least
but no shirt under the raincoat. The raincoat's open.
It's a bit odd for Yakuza because usually in a good Yakuza fight they both rip their shirts
off. That's what I mean.
To show off the tattoos on the back.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's no shirt ripping in Judgement. At least not that I can remember.
It's hunk sprawling.
If you're a fan of Yakuza games, you'll probably enjoy Judgement. If you're going into it looking for like an Ace Attorney style investigation lawyer game, you're probably not gonna get that. But it's worth a go.
Cool, nice one. So that's what you guys have been playing. I've been playing a mix of stuff really. But they're like old, so it doesn't matter. I've been playing Planet Coaster, which is just phenomenally excellent, and I'm annoyed that it's taken me this long to actually play it. I picked it up in the Steam sale. It's like £7. It's just fucking amazing.
You're the only one of the three of us that bought a game in the Steam sale.
I've bought that, and I've got something else as well, but I can't even. I bought Prey, which I've also been playing a lot, and I got the Prey the one with Moon Crash and stuff.
All the DLC,
Yeah, so I've tried Prey so many times. I tried it on PlayStation 4, and I just thought it was like one of the worst games going because it was like it was very, very unsatisfying. So Prey, the basic premise, the basic setup is that there's a lot of these space stations been taken over sort of thing by aliens which can like replicate the environment, so that they're coffee cups or chairs or PCs or whatever, and they just spring out at you. But they were just so underwhelming. They were just like these little spiders that would spring out, and a lot of the time the music cue would kick in.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about this in a minute. Has that been changed?
It's dialed down maybe, or they've.
I think it had a few technical issues when it first came out on console. Yeah. Where it was, like you said, inappropriate music cues.
Yeah. And it just wasn't working. But crucially, the main thing is the performance on the PS4 is absolute arse. And I'm playing it on PS4 Pro, and I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I'm playing a game that's clearly designed for PC and mouse and keyboard on a controller. So I was finding it really difficult to like connect you've got a wrench to begin with, and that's it.
Classic.
And you've got to like hit these little fucking spider things that remember are disguised as mugs and stuff.
They're very fast as well.
They're really fast. There's like often 3 of them, and sometimes I was getting killed by like there's just one of them.
The basic enemy.
It's because I needed to look down and he was there. But then
on mouse and keyboard you've got a lot more control.
It makes complete sense on PC.
If I remember right, the PS4 version had a weird amount of input lag in it, which is something that affects Bloodstain on the Switch. To tie it all together.
Yeah.
But the PC and Xbox One versions didn't have it.
Yeah. So, well, it certainly feels like that. The PS4 version is so bad to play, and I just couldn't get into it. And I tried multiple times. And I love Dishonored. I really really like the studio, and I like that kind of game anyway. I really like the first person, just having a fairly open ended level to go for. I love that sort of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And so now I've been playing it on PC. I'm like 7-8 hours in, and I really really like it. It makes complete sense. Clearly designed for PC. I'm so happy that I'm finally enjoying it, because I thought, maybe I'm wrong. maybe I'm the one who's like being an asshole here. But it's so striking, like, to play. Like, I didn't realize that could still happen. I thought like maybe developers and publishers would have so much pressure on them to make sure that it's like a fairly uniform experience. But I'm telling you, if you've ever played Prey on the PS4 and didn't like it, try it on something else, because it's a different thing.
You did a reverse Principal Skinner. Is it I wrong? No, it's for children.
It's the children who are wrong. Yeah,
but luckily you didn't go down that
exactly.
route.
The children are bang on. Prey's really good. So I've been playing that, and I've been playing Planet Coaster. So a lot of PC gaming. And a lot of Apex as well, but like Jake said earlier, we'll talk about that in another video. So before we get into news and shit like that, we've been given a chance to do a competition by GamerBorn Clothing, who have sent us some t-shirts to try out. So they sent me this one, and they said, "What do you mean? Oh, you knew? It's not news to you." Oh,
because I was saying in advance. That was a genuine reaction, because I know that you're now going around the room saying, "Look at all these cool t-shirts."
Yeah,
I already wore mine.
Yeah.
I kind of blew me load early, and now it's in the fucking.
Jake genuinely wore his t-shirt
on
earlier
a random
in the week.
day.
So,
I wore my t-shirt around my house.
Yeah.
So it's in the wash, like.
So we're not even doing this right, but Liam's got that t-shirt as well.
It looks like a Jack Daniels label, but it has Estes Flask instead from the Bonfire Distillery.
I forget what I'm wearing because there's nothing to do with anything.
Mine's Sounds of the Wasteland, sort of
so it's
Fallout vibe.
So it's video game themed clothing.
Yeah, exactly.
Bit of Dark Souls, bit of Fallout.
Yeah. So they sent us these t-shirts, and very grateful for them for doing that. And they've also given us a chance to do a little competition. So for the patrons, if you're a Patreon, I don't know, is it what you
just a patron?
Just a patron.
I know, but to make it explicit what I'm talking about here, because I could be referring to it in the sort of old Greek sense of like.
Well, if any of them are alive, they can fucking at least enter the competition.
Exactly. If you're a Greek patron,
if you're a 3,000-year-old deity, fucking get involved.
Get in on it.
But otherwise, if you do support us on Patreon,
there'll be a post on the Patreon feed. We'll put this podcast on there, just so you know which one it is. So look for this podcast on our Patreon feed, and tell us what your favourite piece of in-game, what your favourite in-game wearable item is. Yeah. We want to know what your favourite cosmetic item is.
All those dollars that you spent on Overwatch loot boxes.
Yeah. Now this is finally paying off, man. So tell us what your favorite, and it doesn't have to be anything like that. It could be any old school RPG, like it could be something from Fable or anything like that.
Bucket that you put on your head from Divinity Original Sin.
Yeah, the horse armor from Oblivion, all that good stuff.
We're not going to give you any more because they're too good now.
Yeah, so we're winning our own competition, man.
In Hyrule Warriors.
Exactly.
Right, everyone shut up.
There's a deep cut.
I was going to say, yeah.
So these t-shirts that we're badly modelling for you right now while sitting down too comfortably on these sofas, you could have one of these if you're a patron and you check out that post on Patreon. And thank you, GamerBorn, for sending these t-shirts and helping us do a little competition. So it's a little competition. That's the first time we've done a competition on the channel.
It's good that we're
historic
able to do
moment,
that, guys. So even if you're not a patron, you're like, why are they doing this? Just be happy for us, innit?
Yeah.
Just be fucking happy for us.
Yeah.
Should we read an email?
Sorry?
Oh, sorry.
You telling me what to do?
No, I was just suggesting, sire.
Well, then I have to get my phone out, which is bad.
Did you want me to say something about Tim?
Yeah, Sweeney? I want to hear some news.
All right.
Because.
Well, do you know what? Look, do you want me to give you a space update about EVE Online? Because I don't think we put it in like the title last time.
No, so
we tried the pun last time for the title.
Yeah, which I like. I want to keep doing that. Although it's less informative, it's more artful.
Yeah. Okay.
I hope everyone's happy with that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so EVE Online. Explain what EVE Online is first.
Anyway, avid listeners might have heard last week that EVE Online, notorious for being a game where all the best moments are just players like smashing thousands of dollars worth of their in-game items against each other in player versus player wars. Normally about boring things like mining colonies or whatever.
It's like in Phantom Menace and Star Wars where they're always talking about trade embargoes and stuff. Yeah. But that stuff concludes in an awesome battle. Yeah. That's what EVE's like.
Yeah, so in conclusion, when you watch that and you think, who's that for? EVE players.
Yeah, exactly.
They were the only people clapping when that was happening.
It's actually a scientific fact that they fucking love Phantom Menace, I believe.
yeah. 1 in 6. So I've got a little update on that story because what you might not have heard of if you didn't listen to last week's was that the developers just thought, do you know what? Yeah, I'm sick of this. Let's put loads of fucking aliens in there, and they did like an NPC invasion, which is amazing because just like the real world, the wars that go on in EVE are normally really well telegraphed, like months or years in advance, because enemy like guilds or whatever the fuck they're called. And if you're a player of EVE, please don't correct me. Just go with it. It's a guild, yeah. Can see what
I think they're called clubs.
Space Club. We don't talk about Space Club, right? Yeah. So like as you can imagine, like enemy like guilds can see what the other ones are doing with their economy. They can see that they've bought a lot of warships because they can look online. So there's a lot of real in-depth observation and like reconnaissance involved in this. So like I said, like as you can imagine, like in the real world, you'll be able to kind of tell when like, oh, isn't Russia making loads of tanks and that? Do you know what I mean? So when aliens come from the depths of space and start blasting other players, it's created this massive, mad thing. Because everyone's like, well, that's not fair. Hang on a minute. Just like a real alien invasion. And that's why it's so fucking crazy.
It is good.
Because it's kind of banding all these would-be enemies together. Because they're like, we're up against this mad threat. We don't know anything about them. They've got no intelligence. Got no recon. So what do they have? I love this, man. Communication's what they've got, but the developers have given a 1-week warning on Thursday, so we're nearly at Thursday now, that players will lose local chat soon because the aliens have messed up the comms. Yeah? So basically, they're taking away the communication.
And at least they were good enough to warn them this time. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, so players are scrambling and
moaning.
The brilliant thing about this is it means that I know that I'm going to have another update for you next week about what's going to happen. So I mean, even if you don't care about EVE, all you need to know is loads of players. And by the way, this is genuine. There's like thousands and thousands of dollars of assets, like their ships or whatever, mining ships, fighting ships. There's thousands of real life. I don't even know if it's hundreds of thousands, even millions of dollars on the line between all these players at jeopardy because of, I don't know, the devs are just swapping it up.
The whims of the devs, yeah.
If I had to hazard a guess, just talking completely from the outside, I would imagine that anything lost between now and the end of this alien invasion, they'll get back. But they haven't said that yet.
Yeah.
Because like you said, that's a lot of fucking money.
Mm-hmm.
So you can't be but to let them hang on the thread of thinking maybe they'll lose all their stuff, that's good enough because they don't know. But I would imagine.
I don't know, man. I can see what you mean because the player. If I was a player that spent 20 grand or whatever
and years and years of your life at this point, came out in 2004 or something like that,
and then I can find an excuse to say that devs have made the aliens too hard on purpose to get more money out of me.
Give me a refund.
It could look a bit untoward.
Mm-hmm.
But all I know is that the game hasn't had any headlines in a long time because of the game stuff. It's all been player stuff, player wars, play this. So I don't know if the gameplay loop is becoming stagnant and they've tried to mess it up or what. Yeah, I think that because that's, I don't know, like maybe it's because I'm not into it, so I'm out the loop. I don't, when we were checking the news cycle daily, I don't ever really remember seeing an EVE headline that was like, "This great new features coming in." It was all player-made fun. The Sea of Thieves dream, So
yeah, exactly.
This is now something that the devs have implemented and put into the game. So I guess it's kind of really bustling up this. I don't want to say the game's stagnant because it's clearly got a very active fan base, but
sounds like they're teasing an update or an expansion pack
or
of some kind.
It does sound significant, does it?
Do you remember Elite Dangerous? That did it as well, where aliens just suddenly appeared in the game world, and that was for a big update where you could go fight the aliens. So
it's a cool idea. It's a cool idea. I wish I was into one of these games, but I just, I wouldn't do anything else.
Yeah, exactly. So you wouldn't have this salt lamp on.
No way, man. I'd be dreaming about salt lamps.
As someone who's deep into Final Fantasy 14, you're probably better off.
You gone back into that? Or?
Oh yeah, I'm still trying to catch up. I've not bought Shadowbringers yet.
Yeah,
I probably will.
Kale's
by the end.
Same, you know.
I'm probably gonna buy it by the end of the week. You know, I'm gonna cave because I keep getting like voucher codes in my emails.
Yeah, no, man.
Like, I'm gonna cave. I know it.
It's brought a lot of people back because they're the Shadowbringers, and everyone's kind of. Well, not everybody, 3 people I know, including Liam, are all doing the same thing where they're kind of scrambling to get to the thing to catch
It doesn't
up.
help as well when reviewers are saying it's one of the best Final Fantasy stories ever told, period. Never mind for 14.
Right, listen, reviewers need to calm down. They're saying too many best ever full stops these days. But so that's cool. Thanks for the EVE Online update, Kulkowski, from the front. War correspondent
from the Outer Rim.
Sick.
That's a Star Wars reference.
See you next week.
Let's do one of them emails you wanted, Jake. So these emails are sent in to us every week to our Dear Special Moves inbox. If you want to send us in an email to read out on the podcast, it's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. That's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. We do read all of them. So send them in, and we usually pick a couple out, like this one from Blake Walden, who says, Dear Special Moves, I just saw Spiderman Far From Home. That's a new film.
It's good.
And I rewatched the Sam Raimi trilogy recently, as I've been on a bit of a Spidey binge. And I've realised that Spider-Man PS4, I'm interested to see your reaction to this, Liam,
okay,
is the best piece of non-comic Spider-Man material ever made. Now, what did I just tell you about reviewers, man? Blake Walden here is doing what all reviews are doing at the moment, saying it's the best thing ever made. The best non-comic Spider-Man material ever made. The email goes on. Engaging with it is fun on every level. The map is just excellent, filled with so many little details and fun activities. None of the crimes feel like distractions. They all feel like a day in the life of Spider-Man. Being on your way to dinner with Aunt May, but having to stop a mugging on the way, that's a perfect Spidey experience right there. But the best thing is the movement. Moving so freely in an open world game has never been this fun. And I think it's because of one thing in particular, the lack of flight and the inherent mobility of Spider-Man. Thanks, Blake Walden. Liam, agree?
Yeah. No, I'm quite tempted to agree with that, you know?
Yeah.
Because I'm...
Better than all the films?
Well, I
Cartoon?
I don't really know what the best Spider-Man film is, to be honest.
Nah.
Because 1 and 2 are pretty good. 3, not so much.
No.
The Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2, not so great.
Crap.
Homecoming and Far From Home, both very good. But then, the game is also excellent. I mean, I platinumed the thing and 100%ed all 3 DLC packs for it.
Yeah.
So I obviously enjoyed it some level or another. But that's a pretty fair assumption, you know.
They've just put out a Spider-Man VR experience, right?
Did they?
Yeah, for free, I think. And my mate
That's
at work...
like when you have a dream that you're falling and then your stomach goes...
It's like motion sickness.
Exactly. How do you combat that? But my mate at work he's a VR developer, or he's a developer, but he's developed VR stuff.
Yeah.
And he's like big into VR things, and he said, if you need to play this Spider-Man VR experience thing, but he went, I need to ask you, have you played the PS4 Spider-Man game? And I said yes, and he said, forget it then. So it's he was like, you need to play this VR game, but then if he's saying the PS4 one is so categorically the best Spider-Man thing that you don't. So he agrees as well. So that's interesting. That's 2 people, and that was only like last week that he said that. So So
fresh off the back of the film, I guess.
Yeah, probably.
And I guess that's quite good because this email was read out in like November. You'd be like, yeah, mate, it just came out. We get it.
Yeah.
But this is like he's watched a film and then he's gone. That game was good, wasn't it? Yeah. In hindsight already.
Yeah.
So now that you're thinking that positively, like at least 6 months after.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't think you get to say it's the best thing ever until let's say 1 year maybe.
At least
1 year after it comes out.
People are still saying God of War is the best game ever now. I'm more interested to listen to what you've got to say.
Everyone was saying The Witcher 3 is the best game ever in 2015. Less people are saying it now.
Only a few less.
Yeah,
there's still a lot of that.
Well, they'll say the same thing when Cyberpunk comes out. That's going to get a lot of best game ever. Will it hold up?
The Witcher really is like still ever. Maybe it's because recently they did the Switch announcement.
Maybe.
But like I feel like I can't escape it. And I've been playing it again recently, haven't I? So it's like,
I mean, it is very deserving of all the praise.
Yeah.
It's good, it's good.
And it's weird that next year's 5 years since it's been released. That's what's weird.
That is mad, actually.
Because when you play it, it feels like so current still. Isn't that weird?
Yeah. Mind you, though, they have updated it so much.
They have. If you guys
I haven't played it since, probably launch, I guess,
Yeah, same.
It took me like a month
until recently.
It took me like a month to finish it, but since then they've put all the DLC packs out. They've put numerous updates out. It's probably a different game.
Button layouts, if you want, you can change the combat completely.
You can change the walking style. That was a big one, wasn't it?
Because completely different. Honestly, fuck it, it's good, sorry, I looked into that fucking glass of fucking nondescript carbonated drink then.
Dr. Pepper, isn't it? Fucking BBC.
Yeah, but they're not paying us, are they? So they can fucking do one. It could be anything. That could be Pepsi for like.
Yeah. You want us to say your name, Dr. Pepper?
Pay up.
Where's the fucking money?
If you're even a real doctor.
We've done one t-shirt competition.
Unless you're Stranger Things season 3 with its new Coke adverts all over the place.
Is it?
It's not. It's really not that bad.
I've not noticed that.
It's
I'm only 2 episodes in there.
People overblowing it. I just saw a lot of articles about how everyone kept saying, "Oh, they've turned Stranger Things into a Coke ad." It's like 1-2 minute scene of that, and it was it's very in time period for the 80s.
The whole thing's like a fucking 16-hour advert for Dungeons and Dragons, anyway. So what? I mean,
or just one specific time period.
The 80s is an advert for the 80s.
Yeah, build a time machine. I don't know.
So thanks for the email, Blake Walden. There, I think I like it when someone is come to a realization like that though, like when they've just because the game hasn't just come out and then
that's it. That's what I mean.
He's gone and
well,
played
did you think fondly? Because I mean, you and Laura both played it a lot. I only ever played it here.
Liam's got a thought. Go on, Liam.
Spider-Verse.
Spider-Verse is the best. Yeah,
I've got to say that's the best.
Do you know what? Yeah,
I've got to say that.
I've watched all the films now, and I've only played the game here, and it was literally just swinging around on it. And I think it
is a good game.
Either you'd finished the story, and there was only like free roaming mop up to do, so I was only doing a bit of that, which was clearly designed for people that finished the game. Yeah. So I was like, or whatever. But I was thinking, Spider-Verse is
it's got to be Spider-Verse now. When I think about it.
And that's a recommendation as well, actually. If you haven't seen it,
if you've not seen it, watch it as soon as you can.
Yeah, man, it's good.
Cool. I think maybe we'll just do another email back to back.
Yeah.
Back to back. This one's from Michael W. Not me. From Michigan.
Nice.
Michael W. That's in America. Yes. Michael says, "Dear Special Movers, I started listening pretty recently and was hooked on the fun but substantive video game talk that your podcast provides."
Thank you very much.
Fun but substantive is my middle
That's
name.
The motto.
That's going on his grave.
I was wondering if you guys had ever played.
It's like a threat. It wasn't a threat.
That's going on your tombstone.
Your last words.
What sort of death wish fucking threat is that? I was wondering if you guys had ever played or heard of any of the 3, get ready for this one, Xbox 360 Burger King video games.
Oh.
Sneak King.
I've seen people play them on YouTube.
Yeah, go on.
Sneak King, Pocket Bike Racer, or Big Bumpin'. If you hadn't, they were some limited release games that you could buy at $3.99 each with a meal and were astonishingly weird but strangely enjoyable, especially considering the price. Keep up the good work, guys. Michael.
I saw this on YouTube actually. I don't know if it was even over here in the UK.
I think it was a US only promotion.
Because we had a Doritos one, didn't we? And
Crash Course.
It was like you were a T-Rex, I think, weren't you?
There was a few of them. There was one that was like a tower defense game.
This is ringing a bell. You said Crash Course.
There was one called Doritos Crash Course, which is a bit like Total Wipeout, but with like your Xbox avatar or whatever. That was fun. Me and my friends played that a lot, trying to beat each other's scores.
This sounds like based on what Liam was just saying, because I didn't know there was 3. The one I played, I think it was like a Doritos 3D game, and you were a T-Rex, and I think you was just going around chomping.
That was one. It was like it reminded me a bit of Katamari, weirdly.
It was that
you
sort
were
of
given
vibe.
like a map, and you had to like destroy it all, basically.
Yeah, but in a very like, one thing and then another thing that's bigger, strategic kind of. But my assuming Sneak King is what
the names...
I've seen on YouTube.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And I guess this is exactly the same thing. I don't even know.
It's what is it? It's a stealth game where you play as the Burger King.
Yeah.
And you have to
Sneak King.
You have to sneak up on people and surprise them with a King Whopper.
That right? Can I just say, if I was going anywhere and a man snuck up on me with a crown on and gave me a Whopper,
well, crown or no? I mean, here's a Whopper.
Does the king even need to wear a crown? Yeah. Well, if honestly the Burger King snuck up me, I'd be fucking pleasantly surprised. Yeah, that's like a dream. So that's a good game.
I had to immediately think it was an assassination attempt or like a full of hypnol or something.
Exactly. Yeah, you shouldn't eat the burger, should you? You shouldn't eat a burger a stranger offers you, but I would. I
mean, you're definitely opening it, aren't you? You're definitely lifting the bun.
Well, you check to see if it was like tampered with.
Yeah.
But if he was in the vicinity of like a Burger King. What I'm trying to say is the game sounds good, and it sounds better knowing that if I was one of these victims, I'd be well happy,
Can you imagine, if someone just did a fucking banging AAA like RPG or something
where you played as the Burger King?
Yeah, it was like you play as a KFC bucket. The only catch is it's the best sci-fi adventure ever written. The only catch is you play as a KFC bucket.
Do you remember those?
You're a boneless
those Burger King adverts though. They were really creepy but funny at the same time.
What was Burger King?
Burger King adverts, where he just appeared randomly. I think they might have been US only, and I might have seen them on YouTube. There was one I specifically remember where it's like some old like middle-aged guy going to like a peep show. And where you put the coins in and the shutter lifts up and there's like someone on a pole dance and whatever.
Yeah.
But open it and it's just the Burger King with a Whopper. You not seen that advert?
No.
YouTube it later.
I've not seen
I'm pretty sure that was the thing.
That's amazing. But
I think it was part of that like big. They did like a massive ad campaign where they made the Burger King out to be like some stealth expert who surprised people with some Whoppers.
Burger King definitely when I was maybe like 10 or 11, so like early 2000s, they definitely were. Everyone had a website, right? But not in the way they do now. Not like a stylish, slick one. They had like all sorts of shit. And Burger King had one where you went and played a 2D. It was a flash game, I guess. Before I mean,
some interactive game, like one of the ones that's on the Google homepage occasionally.
But it was like that's the whole website, and that's all it was. And then so when you get a tray and it's got like a little sheet of advertising material on it, or whatever, or it used to. I don't think they do it anymore for like recycling.
Some places do.
Yeah.
But that sheet was like, go to the website and play the fucking best platforming game you've ever played. And it totally worked. Like I really wanted to go home and play I wanted to go on the website with my dial-up.
Did you get like discount codes or anything?
Like if you got a score, you'd get a free pack of fries or whatever, innit?
Yeah, like free whatever dessert.
Yeah.
There's all apps now. That's exactly the same vibe now. Download that app and you'll get a loyalty, get some free wings or whatever, innit? But yeah. This is like the off-topic podcast at this point. Which, by the way, if you're enjoying this chat, on our Patreon, this is what we do in our off-topic podcast for like an hour. It's not always Burger King.
No.
I'm just moaning about telly. But
it's like 80% Burger King.
But no, I didn't play them. But I'm sure there'll be a lot of people standing in solidarity with you.
Yeah, for sure. Good email that. Good couple of emails. If you've got any emails you want to send in, it's dearspecialmoves@gmail.com. Send them in, we'll have a read and have a little chat about it. There was some more news this week. Have you looked it up? Because I haven't.
Oh right, yeah. Me and Liam can kind of ad-lib it. I think.
All right, All right, this is a bit of a lottery then, but I'm gonna say.
Give us a chance.
I'm gonna say G2A.
Okay.
Tell me.
I think I could go.
Liam's better versed on this than me. Because I looked at it and kept rolling my eyes every time I seen it come up. I was like,
me too. That's why I don't know about it.
The Tim Sweeney one I know. Right, we'll do that.
There's a little treat for you. Tim Sweeney coming up soon.
Little teaser, yeah.
Stick around. Tim Sweeney in the same video.
Yeah, G2A. G2A, Liam. Tell me about G2A.
There was an article about them. earlier in the week or
what is it
last
first
week.
of all, just in case you
Well,
don't
so
know?
if you don't know, G2A are a key reseller. You know, they sell like Steam keys and stuff.
Yeah.
Very controversial though. They've been accused of selling stolen keys before. General like very bad reviews for like sort of stuff where people getting ripped off and you know secretly subscribe to their like insurance service when they didn't want to.
Yeah. It was basically they would say this key might be bollocks.
Yeah, this
Do you want
key
some
might not-
insurance?
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
It's like how mobsters say pay us for protection money.
Yeah.
Yeah, because what you're going to do, go to the police.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So they've just got a bad rap in general, but there was an article about them earlier or last week, I think it was by this point, where they said they wanted to change their image and stop all the accusations, is what they said, I think. And
like how in every crime film, the
Yeah.
mobster wants to go straight.
Yeah. They're just businessmen. At the end
And
of the day.
but as you'd expect, because of their reputation, people pretty much laughed at them. Quite a few, and then not long after that, there was a developer. I can't remember who it was, but they tweeted out saying they would rather you pirate their game than buy it on G2A, which I think some developers have said in the past before as well.
Yep.
And then there was, I think this happened this very morning. Actually, there was a journalist who put an email he received from G2A, just put it out on Twitter in its entirety. I think it was Thomas Faust he was called.
Yeah.
I don't know who he works for.
No, it wasn't.
But he put out this email where G2A said they would pay him to do a positive news article on him, but they didn't want to declare, but they said, can you not declare that it's sponsored, which, as you know, is illegal in quite a few countries.
Yeah.
And so, again, a lot of people sort of laughing at them.
Yeah, strong accusations from
Yeah.
Faust, but I don't know if he was.
And that's basically the gist of what's happened to them. They've been in the news quite a lot.
And then it's kind of just reopened the classic discussion. Like when the new From Software game comes out, everyone's going to be whinging or not whinging about difficulty modes and whether or not that needs to happen. There's always this conversation about this, like, is it like pro-consumer or anti-consumer or whatever to G2A website. So I think the kind of crux of the matter, if you're kind of out the loop and you're just wondering why the fuck would a developer rather you pirate a game, and it's because what happens is these people being like people that have bought a key with a stolen credit card can obtain the game key, but then they can charge it back. So the key's out there in the wild, but then that money that the company's profited from is given back to the person who has the credit card. So they're not profiting from that key, but the person on G2A who sold that key to some schmuck has now profited. So the reason that they prefer piracy is because no one is profiting at this point. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's called, that's what the fear is, and that's what a lot of people, that's what the, I guess, what's the expression? Received wisdom or whatever. That's what the problem is. But it's grey market. So the actual absolute bottom line for sure is you don't know where the keys have come from. Yeah. So you can't say, and it could be stuff like that. It could be like, some territorial things, keys that were intended for, whatever, Eastern Europe or whatever, and they just,
Well, this is something that a developer that I follow on Twitter has said recently, actually.
Right.
Is that, regional pricing is the reason for these grey areas because, like one key will sort the whole of your, my job, I send out keys to people, and depending on what the store is, like you can have a game, EU code can go all the way to Russia and work, but the price of a game in Russia and the price of a game in France and the price of a game in the UK are completely different. So Russians could buy it for cheap and sell it to the British people, and so that's not technically that they're not stealing from anybody. They're just it's like when people buy T-shirts from America and then sell them in a boutique shop here. It's that reselling thing. It's almost like wholesale. So stuff like that can happen. And also, again, and this doesn't really happen where we are. By we, I mean us three, and it might happen in your country. But have you seen in a Nintendo Switch store that there's those vouchers you can buy 3 games for like 2? Yeah. Well, in like physical game shops, especially in Eastern Europe, it's stuff like that. But in bulk, buy 10 keys for the price of 7. So people might be doing that and selling them on. So, the mystery there is
Okay, so I've got a bit of clarification for you here.
Oh yeah, nice.
Go on.
G2A are currently on a sort of marketing strategy to try and readjust their brand image.
Yeah.
And they didn't offer to pay this Thomas Faust. They said they have written an unbiased article about themselves, and they would like to publish it.
I am so great. I am really great.
It says, we have written an unbiased article about how to sell stolen keys on gaming marketplaces is pretty much impossible, and we want to publish it on your website without being marked as sponsored or associated with G2A. So they basically wanted to... And so Thomas Faust works for indiegames.com.
That's a disaster of an email.
So, yeah.
How is an article written by G2A not going to be associated? It's like me saying, can I write you a couple of tweets?
Yeah.
So basically they wrote an article about themselves but didn't wanted to publish it without saying it was written by themselves.
The word biased gets like criminally fucking misused online, right?
Yeah.
But by definition, if you have written an article about something that you do and is, ingrained in your identity, it is not, it can't be unbiased.
Yeah.
It is biased. You're writing about yourself, your own business.
Yeah, exactly.
That is what bias is. You have an obvious, clear interest in that. That's what bias is.
Yeah, it's a really weird one, isn't it? And it's like, I don't know. The reason I haven't looked into it too much is because there's just too many shit takes online when it comes to any business practices to do with games. Like half the Epic Store stuff just annoys me. But then when I see this and I think I can just imagine the comments and I'm just like,
Okay.
I remember when G2A had the loot boxes on there.
I was going to say that earlier. They went wild at one point where you just like, and then other like legit stores are doing it, and I don't want to like chuck names around.
GOG were doing it.
Okay.
GOG and like Green Man Gaming and stuff.
Green Man Gaming, they had like because me and Liam
Fanatical do it as well.
So yeah, they I think they pretty much kickstarted that.
Yeah, for
idea.
sure.
Do you want a bit of follower?
Yeah.
So G2A replied to Thomas Faust saying these emails were sent by our employee without authorization, for which we apologise to some indie games and the 9 other media outlets he sent this proposal to. He will face strict consequences.
I'm scared for
as
him.
This is absolutely unacceptable. So
he's kind of trying to help his fucking company out though.
So he sounds like a bit of a rogue agent of
G2A. But he's trying to defend G2A.
To be believed.
Yeah, but they're having a PR disaster now.
But it's just so like
when they're on a PR campaign to improve their brand image, which has backfired.
I'm just seeing
quite
like
badly.
the scene in the thick of it or something where they're just like, Craig, send that fucking email right now. Craig sends the email and they're going, Craig, why the fuck did you send that email?
Yeah.
It's like it's just so good a joke. I'm not saying that happened, but that's the vibe of the strict consequences.
Basically, they tried to get sponsored content without saying it was sponsored, which is pretty sure that's
terrible.
It's I saw G2A's tweet, replying to some people. Like they've been pretty like chilled about the whole thing.
They're fairly on it, and they're quite high profile. And they've got staff and events and stuff.
They
and
do
got
loads
all
of
G2A.
sponsored streams with people, and sponsored YouTube videos.
There's loads and loads of streams, especially in Italy. For some reason, they're massive there. Kingwin and G2A are both pretty similar, and they are absolute loads of paid sponsor streamers do it. But G2A have just they kind of, if you look at what they've been saying on Twitter, they're pretty chill about it. Like they're not like denying anything. They just go like, I remember them replying to one guy specifically saying, if we closed this week, do you think the problem would be gone in a month?
Yeah.
Like the loopholes exist. We're not the root of the evil. We're just like one of the routes someone can take.
Another thing I think that gangsters do say, would
if
just
you
be replaced.
Kill me now, would murder stop in these streets?
If I'm not doing it, do you think someone else would just take my place, sort of thing?
Yeah, exactly. That's it. Yeah, there's a million more. Like so I don't know. That's the G2A thing.
It's just the latest in a long installment.
Now,
I guess.
I don't like to read people's opinions on the internet as a whole, but our comment section's alright. So if you've got a searing hot take about G2A, even if you think I'm going to disagree with it, I want to read it because that's what I mean. It's the closest I can get to curating, innit? Like if you've got an opinion, even if you disagree entirely, I'll hear you out. I don't want to hear out some guy on Reddit with an anime profile picture, but not Reddit, Twitter, but I'll listen to you guys. Do you know? I'll tell you what. There's a lot of in our comment section. People with cars as profile pictures, and to you lot. I commend you, kind of.
Car fans.
Can I ask you
I hope you're enjoying the new series of Top Gear. I heard they've changed it up with the new presenters.
Like in anime, like normally, I don't know if it's a character that they like look up to, or if it's a female character and you're a male. Like I don't know what the connotations are there. Car YouTubers is it your own car? Like, you know, like how mums have pictures of their kids on Facebook, or is it a car that you want? Like, is there a lot of people out there like with really good cars, and that's why you do it? Because you know, I would brag if I had a Lamborghini. I've got a Toyota Aygo, but if I but I can't tell if it's like the dream. You know, like how like in
or if it's the hard work.
Yeah, like in the 90s, loads of guys had like babes calendars and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like and there's lots of car cons.
I reckon it's probably like a 60-40 split of like 60% who are like, I would love a
this is what I aspire
McLaren
to.
or whatever, and then 40% are like,
Maybe
I fucking got a
this is what I mean,
McLaren.
and this is what I mean, and this is maybe, you know, I care about this more than I care about G2A. If you've got a car as a profile picture, please let us know if it's your own car. But yeah, all that car bollocks aside, that's the
Let's edit that out.
I can stay.
Not even a smile off you there, man. You were like, fuck. I feel bad now.
Hope it's like trying to connect to Liam using telepathy, like, mate, ignore him.
I have editorial decisions over this.
Let's do some new games then before we wrap up. There's like actually quite a lot, but none of them. I mean, I'm having a hard time.
Listen, when you was reading them out, they all sound like bootlegs.
Yeah, well, a lot of them do anyway.
It's just very Japan heavy this week.
Well, on that, you know, starting with that bootleg idea, these are the new releases for the coming week. Dr. Mario World is coming to...
Dr. Mario World as well.
Yeah, it's coming to iOS and Android.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a...
I actually had the original Dr. Mario on my Game Boy.
Yeah.
And I was pissed off to find out that it was just Tetris. So it's like, you know, there's like, you know, like those pill capsule shapes.
Yeah.
White and, well, it was a Game Boy, so it was
puzzle
just black.
sort of thing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's more like Puyo. Have you ever played that?
Right, yeah. I remember it just be, well, I had Super Mario Land 2, just like 6 golden coins or whatever on the Game Boy. And then I got this as well. I think like my mum or dad got it for me. You know, Jake, you like Mario.
You just see Mario on the cover.
Yeah, and I
you?
had Super Mario World on the SNES as well, right? Which is like one thing. So then when you get this, and it's just, where's Mario?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So this is a whole world, Dr. Mario World. I don't think the first one was that. So who knows? But yeah, it's perfect, I guess, for people that like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And if it's on the phone.
Exactly. Well, it's just weird seeing Nintendo doing phone stuff still for me for some reason.
The third phone game? So they did Mario Kart phone.
Super Mario Run is the first one they had.
That was that. They just
didn't they have that
Mario Kart Grand Tour,
Fire Emblem or something like that?
Yeah, they've got a Fire Emblem one that is still immensely popular.
Fire Emblem phone.
And then they did have a beta for Mario Kart Tour,
Grand Prix or something
like that. Yeah, and that's in beta, but it's not out yet. And now Dr. Mario World.
Because I always think in my head like
they might have more. I think they had one to do with Mii's. You know, do you remember them?
Really?
Yeah.
That's weird.
I can't remember what it was
trying
called.
to give them a new home, like because
maybe
a mobile game based on
the Mii's
yeah
from the Wii, that little avatar you'd create.
Oh, it's a bad idea.
Because they kept them on the Wii U.
Out of all the IP they've got.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
Anyway. Miitomo. It might be called Miitomo or something.
I don't have.
Animal Crossing as well. How can you forget?
Oh yeah,
they've got Animal Crossing Pocket
That's
Camp.
pretty popular.
Pocket Camp,
I'm pretty sure we've all played that as well. Which
no, I never did. You know,
did you
I watched
not?
Lucy play it loads,
I think
but I never.
I downloaded it but never started it, and then deleted it.
Nice.
So
you were this close, mate.
I was that close, yeah.
Also, that's on the 10th. On the 11th of July, we've got Earth Defense Force 5. Which is coming to PC.
Do you know what? This gets good reviews, doesn't it?
They're good.
I think I saw this on Keymail.
If you want to play a B movie in video game form, this is it.
So does it's the plot in the title? Are you like humanity's last hope for the 5th time?
Yeah.
Against aliens that are invading. And
there's a giant sick insect in the sky, and you have
they take the form of everything really. There's ants,
a lot
spiders,
of stick insects,
UFOs,
so it's not
giant
first person,
robots.
I guess.
No, it's third person.
Okay.
And like lots of destructible environments, thousands, well not thousands, but like hundreds of enemies on the screen at a time.
Okay.
You pretty much just like keep
mowing
shooting. Yeah, just mowing them down. And yeah, I think there's even Mecha Godzillas in one of them.
I was going to ask, Liam, is there any Mecha Godzillas? But you beat me to it.
If you want to get, and for weirdly enough, they last forever. they take like 80 hours to finish.
Really?
They go on forever. There's like endless content.
I have a feeling that on the PS2 they got away with a lot of that, where it was like wave shooters, but just with level design. But it was still very much wave shooter.
Yeah.
But they seem to go on. It was like City 1, City 2.
Yeah.
It was like 8 levels of each world.
Punctuated by like, what I like to call Colonel dialogue, where the Colonel rings you up and he says, recruit, you need to go to this place.
Great job killing the bad guys, but now you've got to kill the bad guys.
Do you understand? Press X.
They have that in Earth Defense Force, and you can sing like Shanties.
What? With the Colonel?
What
or
Shanties?
Just,
separate? Like in Black Flag, you've got the sea Shanties.
Yeah, magic.
They've got like songs you can sing with the AI squad mates. Like
Squad Shanties.
Why not?
Dan, that's the title for this one.
That's the title of my fucking rap album, man.
What? Shanties?
Yeah, and it's always like songs like, we can repel the alien invaders' attack, long live the EDF.
Okay, so it's a bit like Starship Troopers sort of.
Very
feeling.
like sort of satire type
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, and then following that, we've got Dragon Quest Builders 2, which is coming to Nintendo Switch.
I'm
going to
get this.
I'm gonna get that.
Both you
like
guys are into this. The idea of this.
I say to you, it was a couple of weeks ago. Because I thought it was out already, and I was like, "Mate, you want to look at this?"
What is it?
It looks good. I don't know.
So
that's the thing.
I played the first one, and it's basically Minecraft, but with some slight RPG mechanics. Because Dragon Quest, one of the most famous RPG franchises ever.
Yeah.
And so this one, and there's a full story mode to it, a full 40-hour length campaign to it, and free roam and multiplayer, and it's got better combat than Minecraft. You can build some really cool stuff, and then you can do boss fights where you've got to build a castle and then have a siege defense.
Well, so this is
and
it,
so
man.
I played the demo for Dragon Quest Builders 2, and it seems to be more of the same.
Where was the demo? What platform?
I played it on Switch, but it's on PS4 as well. And you can still play it. It's up right now if you want to give it a go. And it's pretty much more of the same in the first one, but I think this one's got the addition of co-op.
Right.
Yeah, no, it is co-op from what I saw. Because, do you want to know how I found it? I was searching for just tower defense games on the Switch. Because I was ill, and I wanted to play something where I didn't have to, I just thought, nice.
Just makes sense on the Switch, doesn't it? So.
And do you know what? There's not many.
No.
And
there's like ones that maybe don't immediately leap to mind, but then when you scroll through the eShop, you're like, oh, I've seen that.
Well, I went on when you YouTube hunt top 10 tower defense games and that, and I was even googling looking for it.
Watch Mojo.
Yeah. It was more like this, all these.
Get Bloons Tower Defense on there.
Yeah, Bloons is the one everyone says, but I looked at it and I didn't really fancy it. And then there was another one where you play as a tiki head guy.
Yeah.
Is it Pixel Junk?
Yes, it is Pixel Junk Monsters 2.
I saw that on the recent releases.
Yeah, I got a demo of that and it was okay. But then I saw this and it looked really cool. And like Liam said, it looked like Minecraft, but it's got these tower defense things. But then the fact that there's a story and you can build, it looked like, it reminded me of Dark Cloud. Remember that?
Yeah.
So I was like, what? It looks sick. And the graphics look dead good.
It's good. And it's got a lot of charm to it as well.
Did you send me a link to this?
I think I did.
Because
I think
I think we watched it here or something, and you were like, you're going to like this. You're going to like this bit. And I didn't know which bit you meant, but I assumed it was the building bit. And I was like, ooh, that looks all right. Because I do like building stuff.
You do.
I like.
It sounds like me. It sounds like something I'd do.
Well, of course, yeah.
I think it was in WhatsApp.
Maybe.
You'd said recommend a game, and I think that was it.
That doesn't sound like me though.
No, I know. No, you put it in. It was something like, lads, I'm looking at the Switch store.
I probably said
on there?
I probably said something like, "Leave me alone, don't talk to me, please." And you said,
"Great recommendation for you here." You like space, don't you?
Yeah, I'd heartily recommend Dragon Quest Builders.
I don't know what the price of it is, but I think it's
probably
about
full price.
40,
it's going to be full price. The original was,
and it's a big franchise in Japan, so they can get away with it.
Yeah. So that's coming as well. So that's a few titles. I mean, it's not. it has been pretty quiet. But it hasn't as well. Like, there's always been something. There just hasn't been like the old like god tier AAA games and stuff. Like, but
September's looming closer.
Yeah, but it feels like there's been something to talk about every week. Is what I'm saying. Anyway,
yeah, I don't actually know what's coming out in the next few weeks. I know August is looking a bit busy. But
August got some good stuff. August got some good stuff.
Yeah, August, and then I think
it's Marvel next week. I'm going to be all about that.
Yeah, that's Ultimate Alliance.
Free, yeah.
Switch exclusive, isn't it?
Switch exclusive.
The big one, I think the first big game coming out now is Borderlands 3, I think.
September, right?
Yeah, like the first week of September.
I don't know if I'm gonna go for that. I keep going back and forth on that one. I'm not sure if
I want
will.
it. I think I definitely will. Yeah.
Remember what I said at the very beginning about like the sort of like Castlevania guy coming back?
Yeah.
I feel like Anthem
This
and
is
Destiny
Randy
and all
Pitchford.
that. Oh, like
This is the original looter shooter.
yeah.
Yeah.
But crucially, between Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3, all the other people have crawled out the woodwork.
Yeah.
So that I feel like they have been writing notes and going, "Let's get ready to blow your fucking heads off." And I think that they will.
Did you play Borderlands
pre-sequel? No.
2.5?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I
No.
did.
I only played Borderlands 1 and 2, but I
Yeah.
didn't really get very far into because
Yeah.
I wasn't having a nice time.
I've played them all like right through, and
Yeah, same.
You even did the Telltale one, which I don't think you can even get anymore.
Yeah, I don't know
That's
why.
like a
I don't know why I've
PS
played.
Plus.
It was PS Plus.
was.
Yeah, it was. No, I don't just mean specifically that. I don't know why I've played through Borderlands 1, 2, and the other one.
I've played
and,
through.
and Tales from the
I think
Borderlands.
I've played through 1 and 2 multiple times.
Yeah?
Pre-sequel, I wasn't too hot on, but 1 and 2, I really enjoyed.
I don't
Yeah.
love them, but
No.
I just
They
play
do the
'em.
job.
I just
They do the job at the
Yeah.
end of the day.
There's a nice, satisfying, just like I can't quite pin what it is that makes it satisfying to play them.
yeah.
There's just something there for me anyway that it just makes a nice little game. I think it for me, Borderlands is kind of like how Destiny is for you,
Yeah.
where you can just pop it on, play for like an hour,
Yeah,
and then at the end of it, you're like, that was good,
What I
Yeah.
don't
and then
want,
just hop
though,
off.
yeah.
I
That's
don't
what
want
it's like.
people just shouting jokes at me for the whole time on this one. Borderlands 1 I like because it was a bit less wacky.
Yeah.
Claptrap was like a welcome addition because there was so much sparse like deserty bits.
Yeah.
And then Claptrap was like the funny one. But then
Yeah.
in Borderlands 2 I remember it was like every character was called something like Dickhead the Vulgar.
Yeah.
And it was like a massive...
The humour
There's
is
a bit of that in the
dated
first
quite a bit
There's
in
quite a bit in the first
Borderlands 2. A lot of it was
Yeah.
like based on memes from 2010 and stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. So I want to see how much like contemporary pop culture they've squeezed into this.
Yeah.
If there's a dab in Bandit, I'm selling it. Like, do you know what I mean? But anyway, that's
I'll stand with you there, brother.
yeah, yeah.
I'll get rid of it as well if there's a fucking dabbing bandit. But
Listen, if the dab in Bandit hasn't been taken, yeah, get that on your origin.
I want an email in the inbox from the dabbing bandit by next week. If that doesn't happen, I'm not doing a podcast anymore. Okay, just so.
A dab in Bandit in Borderlands, no. Dab in Bandit in our inbox.
Right, I don't even know what I'm talking about anymore. I need a cup of tea. So thanks everyone for listening and for watching. If you're on YouTube, the Special News Podcast, that was episode 41. Remember the t-shirt competition, right? If you want to win a t-shirt from GamerBorn Clothing, have a look on their website if you want to see what type of stuff they've got, because maybe you're not interested, but if you are, have a look and check out our Patreon page where you can tell us what your favourite piece of in-game
Or crucially, what the best is.
Yeah, what is? Yeah,
You know.
tell me. Yeah. Tell us what is the best piece of in-game wearable cosmetic. Right, that doesn't have to be. It doesn't matter if it's microtransaction or if it's just any old piece of armor from an Elder Scrolls game. Anything. Tell us what your favorite piece of in-game cosmetic is. On our Patreon page, in response to this podcast, there'll be a post. You won't miss it if you're a patron. So check that out, and you could win a t-shirt like what I'm wearing or like what Liam's wearing. But there's like other designs and stuff. Jake had one, but we've been through that. So remember that, and also remember to send us in emails to dsspecialmoves@gmail.com. Tell us about what you think of anything we talked about today, anything you've been playing, any Spiderman related revelations that you've had in your life. Let us know, and cheers.
See you
We'll
soon.
see you in about a week. I think.
Yeah.
It's Monday, isn't it? We usually
We'll see you
record
in
on a Sunday.
Yeah, so we'll see you in 6 days.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Throw me off
Bye-bye.
that. See you later.